You know, it's a lost art form, making truly good bad movies. Hello, my babies, my darlings, welcome back. Today, finally, we're talking about the absolute worst movie ever made, The Room 2003. I don't know why I've never watched this movie, but if you've been around ever, you've seen clips of this movie. The scene where he goes into the rooftop and the dialogue just makes no sense. You've seen the trailer for The Disaster Artist, where James Franco plays this guy in the movie about the making of this movie.
It's not true. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not.
Sometimes a bad movie just has to be bad, right? And sometimes movies are made to be bad, like the whole Sharknado movie series. After like the second, I think, they just leaned into the bad, which kind of took the quality down. Because truly good bad movies are done on accident. And The Room, I think, is the perfect example of that. Tommy Wiseau, whoever, he's this person that decided one day to make his own movie. He wrote the movie, he directed the movie, he starred in the movie, and somehow it got $5 million of funding. And the end result is such a big pile of doggy doo-doo. The movie's quite simple. It follows Johnny, a guy who's engaged to Lisa, and then Lisa starts cheating on him with his best friend. And then we have a bunch of side characters throughout that don't really add anything to the story. And when the movie ended, it got me thinking, wait a minute, is this an incel manifesto? Think about it. It's about Johnny, this really good guy who's got a really good job and is just really generous with everyone around him, whose fiance falls out of love with him for no reason other than she wants to be a slut. And so she is, and he suffers as a consequence. It's like a movie written by a man who wanted to be the victim, who wanted to gain the sympathy of its audience. Like, incredibly misjudged in the way it was executed because this it's bad. It's really, really bad. But let's get right into the spoilers. I don't even know. There isn't really a narrative that I can follow, so I'm just going to go through my favorite scenes and parts and bits because everything has so much potential that it's hard to pick the right stuff to talk about. But I'm going to try and make it make sense. If you haven't watched this movie, truly, I recommend at least one watch with a lot of wine. There's a lot of things that don't work in this movie, and I guess in some way it creates a perfect storm of bad shit that makes this actually good. All of the dialogue feels like it was inserted post-production as voiceovers. Nothing matches anyone's lips. Lips are moving, words aren't matching, and it's the entire time. Tommy supposedly plays an American person, even though he's not American. He doesn't sound American. He doesn't even look American. Rumor is it that in real life, nobody really knows where he's from, which just makes this even better. Nothing makes sense. Nothing connects. There's no flow to the story. There's no flow to the dialogue or the scenes. So the first scene, he gets home, he gifts his girlfriend Lisa this red dress, and then we meet Danny. Danny is like this neighbor, this 18-year-old kid who's the creepiest thing ever. He's always around. He just drops by uninvited to say that he's in a rush and he has to go. No, seriously. That actually happens. And in this scene, Johnny goes upstairs with Lisa because they're gonna bang. And then Danny just follows him upstairs and they all get into a pillow fight. And he's like, I like to watch. Everyone acting like this is normal. I don't know why. It's creepy. But they kick Danny out, and then there's this really long, overdrawn scene of Johnny and Lisa bonking. This is the first hint that this is an incel manifesto. This man has never spoken to a person in real life, I feel. I feel like he's never spoken to a woman. He doesn't know how people act, but he's made sure to include a really long scene where he gets to feel the physical touch of a woman. And that feels like a pretty good excuse for an incel to make a movie, I think. And the day after, we meet Lisa's mom. Her name's Claudette, and she is the icon of the movie. She's very underappreciated. Lisa tells her she's not in love with Johnny anymore. She's bored. Johnny isn't satisfying her the way a future husband should be, and she's thinking of breaking up with him. And Claudette acts like Johnny's PR team, immediately pointing out all of his positives, saying that he has a really good job and he's always provided for Lisa, pointing out that Lisa's not going to be able to provide for herself. I guess she's a useless woman that can't get a job, and basically tells her daughter to marry Johnny no matter what. I wonder what the retainer is for her to be defending Johnny, this avidly. Lisa then calls Johnny's best friend. His name is Mark, and he's got the emotional range of an avocado. His face is always the same. The lines are always in the same tone.
Yeah, I'm very busy. What's going on?
And straight away, she starts calling him baby. I need to talk to you now. And he's like, I told you I'm busy. Can we talk later? And she's like, no, it cannot wait. I need to talk to you right now. And he's like, haha, okay. And he just goes over. And straight away, I assumed they were having an affair, but then they kind of talk, and turns out this is like the first time that she's making a move, and he's very surprised. He wasn't expecting her to be attracted to him, but ultimately gives in. It's like a bad light porno. It's meant to be a porno, but they wanted to release it to wider audiences. So they put actors doing some lines, and then they tried to do it as porny as possible without actually being porn.
How much is it?
It'll be $18.
Here you go. Keep the change. Hi, doggy.
You're my favorite customer.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
So one of the reasons Claudette used to tell Lisa to stay with Johnny is because he's up for this really big promotion where he works. We don't know if he's a banker or if he works with computers or both. It don't make sense, but it doesn't have to. All you have to know is Johnny's successful, has a good job, and is up for a new promotion. And that's why Lisa should marry him, because he's going to be able to provide. Unfortunately, he's sad because he didn't get the promotion. And Lisa's brain starts working. She's like, wait a minute, you didn't get the promotion? You know what? Let's get drunk. And important to note that Johnny doesn't drink ever. Everybody knows that, but Lisa really wants to have fun. So they get drunk. Again, Johnny's never met anyone and has never been to a party because this is what we get.
I'm tired. I'm wasted. I love you, darling.
And another sexy scene. 30 minutes in, and Tommy's already managed to squeeze himself into 2 very haughty, sexy scenes with the same person. Maybe he was attempting to establish a relationship with this woman. Lisa speaks to her mom again, and this conversation is golden. Mom is complaining about a guy who's trying to steal her house. Turns out it's her brother. Then we find out that he only wants the house because the house value is going up in price. All of this for her to say, nobody wants to help me, I'm dying. And the daughter's like, no, you're not. It's fine. And the mom comes out with actually, I just found out I have cancer. And the daughter's reaction is, you'll be fine.
I definitely have breast cancer.
Look, don't worry about it. Everything will be fine.
And we move on. No other reference to the mom's cancer ever. But it does lead the conversation into Lisa telling her mom that she doesn't really know what Johnny's like. Lisa's complaining about Johnny being too generous of a person and then slides in actually, he's not going to get promoted. And then the conversation just kind of ends. Nothing in this movie flows. It's just a mixture of different scenes from different stories splashed together into the same apartment and rooftop. Lisa's best friend, Michelle, apparently uses Lisa's house often for sex with her boyfriend. God knows why. They're caught by Lisa and Lisa's mom, who gives us the best line of the movie.
What are these characters doing here?
Which is exactly what we're wondering as the audience, because new characters keep getting introduced, but none of their storylines go anywhere. This is also when Lisa's mom meets Denny, and then Lisa tells her mom about how Denny is their neighbor and Johnny adopted him and how he's so good of a person, framing it to be bad because she wants her mom's approval in leaving Johnny for Mark.
Oh. Hey, guys.
Denny's storylines are wild. There's one where he's on the rooftop of their building and a drug dealer confronts him. I don't know why he's confronting him in the rooftop of a private building. Why not in the street? I guess they already had the set, so they were just gonna make the most out of it. But also, why this storyline? Turns out Denny bought drugs. He's into drugs. He's doing drugs, but he won't say which drugs. Also, this storyline never goes anywhere. He owes this guy a lot of money, hasn't paid him back, his life is threatened, and then is completely dropped. So Denny does drugs. Remember when Lisa and Johnny got drunk? Well, Lisa's now telling people that Johnny hit her. She tells and somehow that kind of spreads because now Johnny is saying that he doesn't hit Lisa. He didn't hit her. I don't know who he's saying this to.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not.
But he's saying it. And it's weird because we haven't seen anyone mention it to Johnny. We haven't really seen Johnny confront Lisa. But he gets to the rooftop and he talks to Mark. Mark's back. Mark, the emotionless sex doll. Very misogynistic conversation ensues about how women might enjoy cheating on men and how a girl got beat up by a guy because she was cheating on a dozen guys. And Johnny laughs because it's such a funny story.
What a story, Mark.
Denny also tells Johnny that he's in love with Lisa, which is awkward because that's your dad. That's your stepdad. That's your stepmom. But Johnny doesn't find it awkward. He's okay with it, weirdly. Denny's character is so interesting. I don't know why he's here. I don't know why he has so many stories about him. He was homeless, he was adopted, he wants to watch them have sex, but he also loves them like family, but he's also in love with Lisa, and he also has a drug problem and owes guys some money. And in the same conversation Denny's proclaiming his love for Lisa, he talks about his girlfriend who he loves and wants to marry and have kids with. So why is Denny in love with Lisa? We'll never know. Lisa's best friend Michelle also finds out that Johnny hit her. I think she's more shocked at the fact Lisa wants to leave Johnny than she is at the fact Johnny hit her. Some fucking great friend there. Lisa's very adamant that she loves Mark. You know the guy she slept with once? She loves him and has no more feelings for Johnny. And Johnny overhears Michelle telling Lisa that her secret is safe with her. I almost forgot to say, Johnny has this awkward laugh every time he speaks. I need to stop pointing out that the dialogue is really bad and atrocious. I think you get the point. But the fact the dialogue is so bad and the acting is even worse, it's an honor. It's an honor. They also play a lot of football. Anytime they want to give some airtime to side characters, they're just outside throwing the ball around. So much of this movie is spent on nothing. Like nothing. Imagine two people at the bus stop having small talk about their lives that you know nothing about and you'll never know anything about. An hour and 40 minutes of that. It is crazy. Then Lisa's mom is complaining that Johnny can't give her the money for a down payment for a house. She's like, I thought your future husband would be more generous. It seems like Claudette has been dropped from Johnny's PR team. And Lisa confesses that she slept with someone else, a conversation that Johnny overhears. But instead of confronting Lisa about it, because he literally overheard her say, I slept with someone else, no. He's gonna record conversations because we need more airtime and it's only like 50 minutes in. We do, however, have time to see Johnny assemble a recording machine. We meet another person. He's a psychologist or a therapist. He's a friend of Johnny's. His name is I Don't Care. I don't care who this man is. I don't know why we're meeting yet another person, but he confesses to his friend that Lisa is cheating on him because he overheard a conversation. And his friend tells him that he should confront Lisa, but he's like, no, I don't want to. She's my future wife. I want to give her a second chance. A second chance at what? If she's actively cheating on you and you haven't spoken to her, she's just going to continue cheating on you. Again, the mind of an incel works in mysterious ways. Nothing has proper reasoning. Nothing is grounded in reality because being an active incel is blaming your misfortunes on the world, on everybody else but yourself. And we get to hear how Johnny met Lisa. The origin story is beautiful. They went to dinner and Lisa paid for it on their first date. And that's what was special about it. That's it. Then Mark speaks to this other guy, whose name I don't know or care. And the guy immediately guesses that Mark has been sleeping with Lisa behind Johnny's back. Another voice of reason joins the conversation to tell Lisa and Mark what they're doing is wrong. And Mark kind of threatens to throw him off the roof. It's another one of those classic scenes that we're gonna cherish forever. And somehow the conversation continues to the point where Mark is now blaming Lisa for feeling so depressed and blaming her. She's such a bitch. And if you still don't think this is an incel manifesto, here you have this woman being portrayed as the root of all evil. She is the manipulative, conniving that's playing with all these men and humiliating them. She's the reason for the treason. We have another really bizarre sequence. Everybody's wearing a suit, and I'm assuming this is Johnny's wedding day, even though we haven't seen any developments concerning said wedding. And then they just kind of go outside, play football, until this guy, whose name I don't know or care, falls on the floor. And then we cut to a coffee shop scene where a random couple orders whatever, and we see the whole thing. And I'm just thinking, what happened to the suits in the wedding? Shit don't make sense. And if you're still wondering, yes, Lisa and Mark are having an affair. We get another sexy scene. This time, Mark moves a little bit more. The first one, he was a bit stiff, looked like a photo shoot for a cover for one of those novels. But this time he's moving. He's putting in some of the work. Still no expression on his face. His face don't move And I don't think it's Botox. I think it's just lack of talent. Sorry, my guy. I don't know who you are, but maybe it's not him. Maybe it's the movie. Maybe he's actually a great actor. I don't know. In this, garbage. Then Lisa is doing the house up, even though she doesn't want to marry Johnny. She's still in love with Mark, and her mom continues telling her, you need to be honest with Johnny. You need to marry him. He's gonna provide. This whole movie is just Lisa telling people she's in love with Mark and then not doing anything about it. Her mom, again, you can't throw your whole life away just because you don't love him. Her mom doesn't believe love is needed for a wedding. And you know what? If we go back to the roots of marriage, at the end of the day, it's a contract. She wants to sell her daughter off. Then there's a birthday party, a surprise birthday party. At some point, everybody leaves the room and Lisa stays behind with Mark and starts cuddling up on him. And I'm thinking, it's a party. People are going to come back. They don't give a fuck. The movie doesn't give a shit. The movie's done trying without ever starting to. They're caught again, not by Johnny, still just a random passerby, another character that we don't know. I don't even think they give him a name.
You don't understand anything, man. Leave your stupid comments in your pocket.
What? What does it fucking mean? What does it mean? Johnny needed to put another character here rooting for him. This guy tells Lisa she has to stop doing this. She's gonna break his heart. Also at the party, Johnny announces that he's expecting a baby with Lisa. But turns out there's no baby. Lisa's just like, yeah, I'm telling him I have a baby. I mean, we're eventually gonna have one. Might as well do it now. Why though? Why? Then Mark speaks to Lisa about the baby, asks her if the baby's his, and she's like, no. And he's like, how can you be so sure? And she's like, stop asking me stupid questions. And then he's like, who do you think you are? And she slaps him. And this is enough to prompt Johnny to action. They have an argument that kind of doesn't get resolved. And then we skip to Lisa and Mark dancing slowly, very close together, like they're a couple, and nobody thinks this is weird. But then another fight breaks out, and Johnny hits Mark, and Mark tries to hit him back. Later that night, Johnny and Lisa have a final argument. Johnny finally comes out with the tapes. He's like, I know you've been cheating on me. I have recordings of you admitting it. And what follows is Johnny's pity party, talking about how everybody left him, all of his friends betrayed him. And honestly, he's got a point, because at this point in the movie, everybody knew what Lisa was doing, except him. Again, bringing me back to the incel manifesto. This man wants to be the victim, and he made a story to make himself a victim. Lisa leaves him for good, and Johnny has an angry scene where he destroys everything around him. He's acting his ass off, bless this man. He's giving it his all. I hope. He destroys a bunch of stuff and then he shoots himself. It doesn't even have the capacity to make this a heartfelt, sad moment. I laughed. And though this would have been the perfect bad ending for a bad movie, there's more. His body is found. Mark doesn't want to be with Lisa anymore. He breaks up with her. He tells her Johnny's dead because of her. It's all her fault. He doesn't want anything to do with her anymore. And then Denny shows up and he wants to be left alone with the corpse. And he's like, leave, both of you, please leave. I don't know. Knowing so little about Denny as we do now and having seen so many storylines surrounding him that went nowhere, I don't know if you should leave him alone with a corpse. And the movie ends. Incel Manifesto. He made himself the victim of a woman. The woman is the devil, the evil that manipulates men, seduces men, corrupts men, destroys friendships, and drives you to ending your own life. And somehow the movie became a cult classic. I guess people can't get enough of how bad and terrible it actually is. It was adapted into The Disaster Artist, like I mentioned, 2017. It was even nominated for Oscars. Who would have thunk that this movie would lead to something Oscar nominated? And even though the movie is an absolute dumpster fire, I think Tommy should be proud of himself. At least he went out and did his thing, and somehow it led to something of good quality. This is truly the worst movie I've ever seen. There really is only one other movie, in my opinion, that is so bad it's better than this. That is my favorite bad movie of all time, Showgirls. So let me know if you want me to talk about that one. But this film, whatever it is, I'm impressed. I'm impressed at the creativity and the artistry behind such a storm of a thing. And that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, feel free to leave it a like down below, subscribe to my channel, comment down below, whatever comes to mind. when you think about The Room. And if you haven't seen it, I honestly would highly advise you to go watch it. If nothing, just to have a really good time, because it is unintentionally the most hilarious movie I've ever seen. And on that note, until next time, stay safe, stay sane, stay stupid, and stay stuttering. Bye, guys.